Greetings! In this video presentation, I shall be reflecting on my time at Worcester University studying the Joint Honours Screenwriting and Drama degree. So, in relation to screenwriting specifically for a moment, I have learnt many a thing, like how to identify the genre of a script, how to identify the target audience for said script, how to experiment with time and storytelling so that it's not all linear. You know, you can chop it all up, mix it up, and have flashbacks and tell out of order stories to confuse an audience, but also to keep them hooked, interested, to keep them coming back for the next episode to know what's going to go on. So yes, I've also learnt that stories have a 3-act structure, for example, a beginning, middle and an end. So let's go back in time to September 2018 to a young, long-haired, moustached, terrified Dylan, or me.
Hello Dylan, it's so lovely to meet you.
Likewise.
Oh, thank you for participating in this interview.
No worries, my sweet petal.
So you've had quite the illustrious career writing and starring in the Pighead quadrilogy, Vicky Thugs, The Cloudy Express, Gay Day and Doctor Who. When did you realise you wanted to be a writer?
Well, when I was very young, my nan, I used to get her to write stories. And I remember distinctly making her write stories based off of Doctor Who. I remember writing the episode The Family of Blood as a story. And then I decided that her writing process was too slow, so I wrote them. And then these stories turned into videos I'd make with my little brother. And just before I started uni, I was asking myself, what do I want to do with my life? And suddenly the answer became very clear. I wanted to write an episode of Doctor Who.
Is that when you wrote your first script?
Well, every story has a beginning, middle and end. The beginning's as good a place as any to start. For real this time.
So learning how to write a script can be hard at first, but once you've got the skill, you can develop it. Remember emotional heart. So you start with int or x for interior, exterior, followed by the location, followed by the time of day.
And then when you introduce the character first, one has to use capitals, but any character space, not capitals, lowercase. And then if, for example, the character speaks, there's action, and there's more speech from the same character. When the name appears the time after the action, you put comma to stop the continues afterwards, and then you carry on like that. Today.
Having never written a script before, first year Dylan was more than a little overwhelmed. But there's no better way to learn something new than by throwing yourself in the deep end. Right. Emotional heart. First year me made it very difficult for myself. Instead of investing in final draft, I'd type out all my scripts on Word, meaning I'd be typing for 3 times longer than it would have taken me. Then came the first submitted assessment, a character profile for my half-hour drama. Hello? You're outside already? Mum, I haven't submitted everything yet. 5 minutes. Mummy, I'll be 5 minutes. I'm on my way. Don't go without me. Luckily, I'd submitted everything. Or so I thought. Hi, Mark. Is it alright if I borrow Dylan for a minute? Don't worry, you're not in trouble. So have you submitted the short script yet? It's not due till May, isn't it? Oh no, 4th of January it was due. And oop. That was the day I'd learnt a valuable lesson. Always check when your deadlines are due. Second semester continued with writing the first draft of my half-hour drama. Learning that constructive criticism wasn't an attack on me personally took a short while. Well, there's a whole page here that's just description. Yeah, but it's all necessary. But you're not a set designer. Don't do other people's jobs for them. Just focus on the writing. Well, that's not what actually happened. That's just what I felt like doing. There's a little exposition that can be cut from the dialogue, which also needs work. It's just not very realistic. How do I do that? Well, when I'm writing, I read out the dialogue out loud, and you just know if it just doesn't work because it just won't feel right, it won't sound right. I remember finishing Dabble Moore's first draft and posting it all over social media saying, "It's crap, but it's my crap." Being so happy in the moment and writing that at the same time just shows my lack of confidence in myself at the time. I wish I'd been kinder to myself. First scripts a week. That's the point though. Cutting my teeth on these projects sharpened my skills for all my future scripts. First year ended with the writing of my first script report and a presentation on one of the set texts, 7 Basic Plots by Christopher Booker. It was an interesting, if overlong, read, and I learned to identify what works best for you. Every set text gives you different advice, so work out which one works for you. Personally, I found I learnt best from reading scripts, such as Doctor Who Series 1, The Shooting Scripts, or Russell T Davies' The Writer's Tale, because they both show how episodes were made and written compared to the final product, what lines were removed from the shooting script to the televised episode, and how the script is written from the genesis of the idea to the final product.
Input is so important, whether that be from friends, family members, lecturers, script editors, or even external factors like The Writer's Tale.
You speak a lot of other people's influences on your work. Have you always thrived during collaborative work?
Well, I think we should have a fire. I don't see how it's going to work. But we're talking about the Amazon. But the story's about environmentalism. Shall we draw a timeline? Would that help? This is really hard, yes. Second year continued with me now playing the role of script editor. This was such a good experience because as I was teaching, I was learning about myself, becoming more confident in my knowledge of stories and structure. I would really like to get into script editing as you're able to get experience in a wealth of different scripts. Last year when I was having my half-hour script edited by a second year, I learnt quite a lot from that experience, so hopefully a bit of the knowledge that I learnt will rub off on you. Yeah, that sounds great. I like how you start with the song, but I feel like the protagonist needs to actually fight with the vampire that is fighting, because it's over a bit too quickly, the beheading. So if we can have an actual action sequence, that might amp up the stakes a bit from the off. Have him actually fight the vampire, grapple with him, and have the song play in the background too. That might be really interesting. No, that sounds really good actually, thank you. And then it arrived. Now writing on Writer Duet, the episode of Eden that I was writing was completed and ready for submission. Eden ended up being a surprising learning curve. My ability to work in a group was improved. Now I feel much more confident in myself as a person, but also in my storytelling ability. In my spare time, I write scripts, which is something I never did in my first 2 years at uni. I have rewritten my first year short film, Queen, now titled Bullerman. I have written a short horror film, Pigface, which is on my YouTube channel. I am currently in the process of writing a mini-series called The Cloudy Express, which is based off my first year experiences at uni. Because I feel so much more at ease with myself as a person and much more confident in my script writing ability, I've just learned to accept the fact that I'm going to make mistakes in life and when writing scripts, and that's okay. Because the most important thing to remember is that I'll learn from them.
I have so much to thank screenwriting and drama for, but the main reason has to be for developing love, acceptance, and belief in myself. Thank you.